Welcome to the War Dragons Carnivania season, which will be the summer season for 2025. It will last from May 25th to August 26th. Now, without further ado, let's look at the dragons. As per usual, the first dragon is the discount dragon. In this case, it'll be an ice sorcerer named Jixie. Now, let's look at the spells. The first spell is Blight of Ice. It is a white spell that costs 2 rage. The dragon damages towers in the target area for 10% of its modified HP and freezes them for 4 seconds. The duration is 4 seconds, the cooldown is 5 seconds, and the radius is 19. The next spell is Frozen Salvo, which is a white spell that costs 1 rage. It fires 20 projectiles at 5 random towers, each dealing 10% of the dragon's modified HP as damage. The duration is 2 seconds, and the cooldown is 5. The next spell is Crystal Cloak, which is another white spell that costs 2 rage. The dragon flies at half of its base flying speed and cannot be hit by tower attacks for the duration of the spell. The dragon has 200% increased rage generation while cloaked, can attack, and cast spells while cloaked. The duration is 3 seconds, and the cooldown is also 3. Lastly, we have Glacial Renewal, which is a blue spell that costs no rage. It is an invincible shield that applies healing marks to all towers in the radius when destroyed. Healing marks restore 12% HP when marked towers are destroyed. The duration is 4 seconds, the cooldown is 3, and the radius is 80. Before going over the first mythic spells, I wanted to note that the attack speed is increased from 80 to 120, the attack range is increased from 85 to 100, and the number of target hits is increased from 3 to 5. Last but not least, here are the runes and glyphs that will come with this dragon, as well as the profile picture. The first of our 2 mythics is Noctellum, a wind hunter. Now, let's look at his spells. His first spell is Freeze Burst, which is a white spell that costs 1 rage. It increases breath attack damage by 200% and empowers breath attacks to freeze towers for 1 second while active. It also restores 0.75 rage on cast. The duration is 3.5 seconds and the cooldown is 8. His next spell is Gust Load, which is a white spell that also costs 1 rage. The dragon cloaks for 3 seconds and reloads 10% of its ammo. While cloaked, the dragon flies at half of its normal speed. The duration is 3 seconds, and the cooldown is 0.75 seconds. Next spell is Auralus, which is a white spell that costs 2 rage. It heals 20% of the dragon's modified HP on cast, and grants the dragon 200% increased ammo regeneration for 4 seconds. The duration is 4 seconds, and the cooldown is 2. The last spell is Stormhold, which is a white spell that costs 1 rage. The dragon damages all towers in target area for 3% of its modified HP, and disables them until they take damage. The duration is not applicable, the cooldown is 0 seconds, and the radius is 8. Now, since we are done with the spells, let's go ahead and look at the runes and glyphs, as well as the profile picture that will come with this dragon. Lastly, we have our second mythic Magmoth, which is a fire warrior. Without further ado, let's look at his spells. Beginning with his passive spell, Ward Scale, he summons an invincible, AI-controlled warrior dragon at the beginning of battle. The summon has 2% of the dragon's modified HP as damage, and 500% of the dragon's modified HP as health. The dragon passively has 20% increased rage generation as a result of this summon. The summon also absorbs 35% of damage dealt to Magmoth. The duration is not applicable, nor is the cooldown. Next spell is Skyfire, which is a white spell that costs 1 rage. The dragon gains 255% increased breath damage for 4 seconds and heals for 10% of its modified HP. The duration is 4 seconds, and the cooldown is also 4. The next spell is Echo of Pain, which is a white spell that costs 2 rage. The dragon absorbs all damage and Mage Tower super shots for a short time. After the effect, the dragon deals between 5 to 25% increased damage. This number will depend on how much damage was absorbed. The duration is 2.5 seconds, and the cooldown is 8. The final spell is Chill of Despair, which is a white spell that costs 1 rage. It freezes nearby towers for 4 seconds, and affected towers take 25% increased damage. The duration is 4 seconds, and the cooldown is 5. Now that we have covered all the spells, let's go ahead and look at the runes and glyph, as well as the profile picture that will come with this dragon. I hope you all enjoyed. Please feel free to comment down below what your feelings about the upcoming season are. Looking forward to it. See you next time.